everyone, and welcome to our webinar series, Travel in the New Normal. Continuing our series, today our topic is the scope of golf tourism in India. And I am very happy to introduce our guest today, Mr. Arun Iyer, a dear friend and an ex-colleague. So hi Arun,
Hi.
let me read his bio. He's the MD of My Golf Tours. My Golf Tours are experts in golf tourism, golf events, and customized luxury holidays. Amongst the many feathers in their cap include winner Best Golf Tour Operator India 2017, official representative for Indian Golf Union to conduct junior feeder tour tournaments in Western India since last 3 consecutive years. They've been promoting India as top golfing destination at the World Golf Expo, and they're members of the International Association of Golf Tour Operators. Arun wears many hats with lifestyle experiences services like destination weddings and corporate travel services. He has 4 decades of experience in the tourism industry and is also faculty of golf tourism at golf management courses. So welcome again, Arun. I'd like to just give a little brief about golf and India. India has some of the oldest golf courses, and also one of the highest golf courses happens to be in India in Sikkim. And we have been attracting golf enthusiasts, both domestic as well as international, to the various events. But golfing in the new normal seems to have a different dimension, and there is a lot of scope. And today, Arun is going to tell us exactly that. So over to you, Arun. Some housekeeping instructions, guys. Please keep your phones on mute, and please ask questions, because at the end of Mr. Iyer's session, we are going to have questions. So you can start putting in your questions in the chat box. Okay, thank you, and over to Arun.
Yeah. Good afternoon, and thank you very much, Smita, for a wonderful introduction. And welcome, everyone. Hope you had a good lunch, and I will ensure that you're not going to go and sleep now. That's my responsibility. So I'll just share my screen so that I'll get you what I'm going to be showing something to you today. So here you go. So we're going to talk on opportunities in golf tourism as a career avenue, and that's what was the subject that was given to me, and I want to educate all the participants here. Golf generally is perceived as a very rich man's sport, and says, oh, it cannot afford. Somebody can play cricket with a stump and a bat ball, even on a wall, or even a play of football. But for golf, definitely, yes, you need a golf course that you really want to enjoy. So not necessarily it's a rich man's sport, because previously it was only limited to private member clubs. Now you have courses built by the government of India, and they have taken a very keen interest in making it a niche tourism as a separate brand. And they are spending a lot of budgets on promoting India as a golfing destination. The picture that you're seeing is a golf course very close to Mumbai. It's called the Ambi Valley. And only once you go there and see these kind of golf courses that you can go and enjoy playing. And for some of the members who are not a golfer, I just want to say that, something special about golf, why it is so special is in any sport, you have a ball which is always in motion, be it cricket, I mean, like somebody is bowling at you, be it the football, somebody is, kicking it, somebody is dribbling in hockey, maybe all. But in golf, the ball is stationary. You have 14 clubs in your bag. Each club has a trajectory that will take the ball to a certain distance. You have to play, and you only write your own score. So you don't, if you are lying to yourself, then you are conscious you're lying. So that's why it's called a gentleman's game. and it's a game that you play against yourself every day. So that's why it's something about golf. And average golf takes about 4 hours to complete an 18 hole. The golf courses are 18 hole normally, and it takes about 4 hours to complete a 18 hole golf course. So this is just, for your information so that you have a time if some of your tourism customers come, what kind of thing that you will be doing. And secondly, a golf traveler spends more money than an average traveler. That is something also is very, very attractive to know. For example, if an average traveler goes to Thailand to spend 5 nights, he'll spend about $300, whereas a golfer will spend about $1,100 to $1,200. So that's a kind of money and thing. But only thing is that to serve such clientele, you just cannot put a small poster and say that I'm also selling. Like tomorrow you are selling Mahabaleshwar for some package. You can create an ad and say I also sell. But here in golf you can't do that. And one of the most differentiating factor in golf tourism is if you're selling somebody a cricket World Cup tour or a hockey match in Barcelona or in Manchester, your customer will go only as a guest and he will be watching these footballers play or the cricketers play. In golf, when we send our people, our guests go, they not only watch the sport, they also get to play a couple of rounds in and around those golf courses. And also in some places, there are some pro-am program. I'll come back to that they get to play. So that's the differential model of it. So coming to the next picture, I also will showcase some of the best things that we have in India. I would love to, I promote India as a top golfing destination. So this is the famous Lakshmi Vilas Palace in Baroda, which is built around 180,000 pounds in the 1800s, and it is larger. It's the single dwelling unit, which is 4 times larger than the Buckingham Palace. So if you want to understand that this is the kind of thing that we have a showcase. Similarly, in Mysore, you have the Palace of Maharaja surrounded with a golf course and a race course. So when you have a races happening, the golf don't happen. When your golfers playing, the races don't happen. So these are the things available in India. And basically, golfers, like, for example, a golf traveler is something, he carries something with him, it's a golf kit. So you have to understand his needs are not like any other traveler. His needs are very, very specific. He's flying down few thousand miles to a different country to enjoy specific golf courses. And to offer such uh, services to such customer, you have to understand what his needs, beliefs, perceptions, how does it like, what he wants to take it, and those things. For that you should know how a golf course operates, what are the things needed for a golfer in terms of booking besides his hotel and stuff. And what are the parameters of golfing, how good golfer he is, how bad golfer he is. Because if a bad golfer means somebody who plays slow, and if he's plays slow, the golf course can ask him to throw him out because he's blocking the people who are playing. So there's something called a handicap. So all these parameters one has to learn, and you just cannot just start selling. So to do a golf tourism, and best part is like even in research conducted by MasterCard, they said the process of purchase of people first stop spend on their groceries and other. That was their first credit card spend. Second was largest was airline tickets, and third was on golf accessories. So you can imagine worldwide people are spending so much on golf accessories. So you have to give this kind of a thing, and I will take you our next. Now this is what it is like. What you need to book for a golfer, you need to book a caddy, book a tee off time. What's a tee off time? If you ask, is every golf course there are people who will be playing. So every flight has a 4 ball together on a weekend. So they don't allow less than minimum 4 people have to play, and 3 people or 3 to 4 because the crowd is there. And every flight is a 5 minutes. Somebody takes off and then somebody follows them behind. So where you have a caddy, the caddy is a guy or a lady who carries your bag. She is like a guide into the golf course. She knows the, the gradients of the golf, which way to play. She will guide you. He or she will guide you. What's the wind speed? How much the ball would carry? What are the normal distances? And also carry even an umbrella for you during rain or a sun, or drive a buggy. This is called a golf cart or a golf buggy. If the course is very long, you can carry this. And if you are also booking a customer, a golfer, you have to check. Sometimes businessmen come here and they want to, if they've extended the game, you want to play a round of golf. So you got to arrange a golf sets on rental to play and all those. These are all the things that the services of a golfer needs, especially for playing golf. Beside that, the sightseeing and stuff which are, normally there. But and also when you are booking his flight ticket, you got to ensure that his golf bag which weighs about 12 to 15 kilos, and it has to carry his shoes. Golf shoes are different, and his gloves, his golf balls, everything, because golf balls cannot be carried in a handbag. It will not be allowed. So it has to be carried in a checked in baggage. So this is basically the kind of thing. So I will just show around some of the beautiful golf courses also, which people come and play, and so that you also are able to see how things are, this thing is happening here. Now, this is the Royal Spring Golf Course in Srinagar. You'll not even imagine such a beautiful golf course. Kashmir, and a lot of people go here in October. We have a festival, and a lot of our people go and play, enjoy a round of golf here. We have beautiful. Look at this golf course. I mean, you can beat any part of anything in the world. These are world class. This is the Leader Valley in Pahalgam. Imagine it's like playing in Switzerland or in Europe. This is the kind of golf course you get to play. And in Delhi, Gurugram, you have the DLF, which is one of the world's best, the top golf Hero Open and everything takes place here. Even Tiger Woods had come and play. In Pune, you have the Oxford Golf Club deep in the valley. You even arrive here in a helicopter, and it's a very beautiful. It has attached a 4-star hotel, swimming pool, and other accessories to see. And now in Kolkata, again, if I go like Smita already said, was the oldest golf course was established in 1829 was the Royal, the first golf course outside the British Isles. So you can imagine when the Britishers came in 18th century here, for the East India Company, they set up the first golf course outside United Kingdom, only in Calcutta. Now, with the vacation planning, we have thematic programs for golfers. It is just not golf. Look at the tee box. What the gentleman here is doing, he is playing the ball. It has to cross the ocean over 220 yards across the green that you see on the other side. This is the fairway that they see. That's where the ball has to land. So he has to, play. These are the thrills of going ahead and playing in so many other places. You have such situations in Bali. In South Africa, in Limpopo, there is a golf course where they play the 19th hole, where the ball is teed off from the top of the hill, and then you take a helicopter down to come down to play the next shot. So these are all the adventures. Imagine the kind of thrill one would get to do it. Or even if you are playing in Kaziranga or Digboy in Northeast in India, you can have a hippopotamus or even a rhino coming in, checking up whether you are playing properly or not. So these are the things that people get. And there is a golf and wine vineyard visit with gastronomy that is very popular in France and Italy. With a golf and cruise, some of the cruise liners which operate in the deep Arctic side and Antarctica, during the off season, they come down to Europe, and then they offer you some kind of uh, tours which are purely for golfers, and they go to the ports where there are golf courses and arrangements are made. Golf and spa is another very prominent thing where people go to Bali. Balinese spa is very, very famous. popular. Southeast Asia is very good for your spa. And another area people travel is visiting golf tournaments. See, like I told you, the British Open, the Augusta Masters, the Dubai Desert Classic, the Ryder Cup. These are some of the top of the golf event that happen every year. And these are organized by some of the associations which are the global USPGA, or even your what you call as the Asian tour, the European tour, or these are the kind of organizations that they run these kind of events, and these are globally attended by a lot of people. And even in Dubai, Desert Classic happens in Indonesia and in Malaysia. The things happen even in Mauritius is a very popular golf destination. So these are the kind of events people travel. And average ticket cost for like visiting Augusta Master and playing around 6-7 rounds of golf costs about $8,000 for a person. People don't mind spending that kind of a money for this kind of events. And a lot of people go in, say for example, in Augusta Masters, they also offer you a souvenir chair and with your name put on it and put it in a specific golf course, so that place, so that you can watch and sit and watch, and you can bring the souvenir back to India, kind of a thing. So these are very, very kind of thing people travel. So when you have an idea about all those things, when you study the geography, the climatic conditions, and which countries are suited for when to travel, is what you have to understand, because there are two kinds of tourism here. One is the inbound tourism and outbound tourism. And people, overseas people come to India, what kind of golf courses you are going to take them, and say, and if somebody is going outside to India, and what kind of golf course called the Thracian Cliff. It's in the top of the Black Sea. It's a beautiful resort, and people come in from all over the world and play, and very close to Turkey. So these are the things that one can play. And the next event is something called corporate clinic. That's how we organize. See, this is where the golf from tourism comes to the golf event part. Okay, when you're organizing an event and then you're seeing people coming and playing, don't know how to play golf. If you are a fund manager, like say for example, you are say ex ABC wealth company, and you are funding so many NBFC, like a non-banking financial institution, you want to entertain your top 25 investors who pay, you have a billing with your 5 crores or 50 crores. So you bring them around to a clinic. We conduct a course, like we have our celebrity Leander Pace, who comes and then, he gives some pep talk. So this is the kind of an event which also brings in a networking, what you call a golf networking, where people meet and do businesses. This also happen, and this is done in a corporate level. So when you are doing a golf management, golf tourism, when we do inbound tourism, outbound tourism, this golf event is one of the things. And this doing a clinic, because normally you say that I know to play golf. If I don't know how to play golf, how will you entertain them, your people, in a golf course? Because people are fed up of being in a 5-star hotel and stuff like that. And golf is where you have your 3-meter distancing and social distancing. Everything can be looked into and things can happen, because the new normal is going to be everything new with kind of social distancing happening. So this also takes care of all those kind of stuff. And the second part of event is organizing a tournament that is a very big revenue. The top companies, like this is the kind of academy where they teach you juniors. Juniors are being taught in terms of training. With one of our panelists here, Indrajit Balotia, he's been a 4-time PGTI winner, Asian Tour, and he's been as a top coach of National Golf Academy of India, which is in Chandigarh. He's certified, and he produces a lot of junior champions for India. Now, the second round, I said, this is the event part where people come in and organize event, whereby the, say, Birla Sun Life wanted to connect their investors with professional golfers, and an event is made. Roundtable India wanted to do a fundraising for their, one classroom a day, every day is their concept. So they came and organized a golf event whereby anybody does a wrong shot, he has to pay 2,000 rupees charity. So, the kind of fun was made, like even people would, try to make a mistake. Well, he knows he has to pay a charity. So that's how the fun was created. And they made a lot of money for which was for a good cause. Similarly, this juniors development is a very big thing moment in India. Golf children, you will see from age of 5 to 18 playing in 5 different series. Every zone in India has to have a tournament for them, and the top 5 play the nationals. And this is something also a part of a golf event organizing. So it is like, uh, these are all very, very tough. Every stroke matters. The referees are there. They're all certified so that, it's a question of somebody making qualifying the nationals happens only based on just one stroke, what he played or not. And you see the children, they will play even at the 40-degree temperature, no complaint. That's how they are all, the psychology and everything is done. Few popular destinations for the outbound golf traveler from India. I just want to say that, from India, people very friendly. Thailand, because it's visa friendly and things like that, and have a lot of golf courses. They have made a golf friendly environment for golfers. Malaysia has got beautiful golf courses. In Indonesia, of course, Bali, Bintang, and Vietnam has a lot of courses in all over Hanoi and in Ho Chi Minh and Da Nang. Myanmar has good golf courses. They have the cruises also with the golf. Sri Lanka, Colombo is one of the oldest golf course. You have Nuara Ilia and Kandy. There are some beautiful golf courses. Now Shangri-La Hotel has come up with another hotel in the southern part, which is very nice. And Japan, people travel because even though it is very expensive, Japanese go out. Japan is also now looking for golfers. Koreans travel out, and also people travel to Korea. UAE is very close by for India, so people go from October to February. Turkey is a very, very highly popular in golf because all the North European travel, the Russia and all, when they're very cold, they all come down to Turkey to play. And the best part is in a place like Turkey, which is called Antalya, and there are 7 to 8 golf courses, one after the other, each with a 500-room hotel resort. So you can imagine the amount of facility they have created and the kind of big tournament they happen. Bulgaria, which is also enjoys a very good weather till November, so they enjoy. Italy has a lot of good, beautiful courses. Spain has tremendous amount of beautiful. Britain, of course, that's the St. Andrews is the Mecca of golf, and America and Canada, a lot of Americans play. And now newly Central European countries have also started coming. So it's just, I'm giving a gist. So there are a lot of golf courses all over. People travel. Now, well, imagine how many people travel, golfers travel, 55 million golfers travel worldwide on vacation. So can you imagine the state of the entire volume of business that is happening with these 55 million golfers? And some of them, they go and say Germans, they go to Spain during winter and stay for 2 months, 3 months and just keep playing golf. So these are the kind of lifestyle. So when Smita was mentioning that golf is not a sport as such, you can say it's a lifestyle sport. People who are, wanting to enjoy this, they have a lifestyle. So you must understand what their likes when we are proposing an event and, kind of stuff to them. Say this is just on the top is the golf course, one of the golf course in Antalya, and down also you have the one in Antalya. And on the left, you have, this is the St. Andrews in Scotland. So these are all, kind of the thing that people want to go and play and enjoy. So, and career in Opportunities, golf tournament management is a lot of career opportunities there. You have to understand that this is just the beginning of what's happening in India. You have uh, to know. Best is would be if it is not a mandatory thing, but if you can try and learn golf. There are a lot of institutes available in now in Mumbai, in Delhi, in Bangalore. I don't know, a lot of people from which all places are coming, but there are available. You can learn this sport also, and then it connects you with people around, and that's how it takes care of all the fun. And there is also the Indian Golf Union, which is the parent body in India that is taking care of all the things. So you can become a member of it and then try and want to play. You can also do your career. Both are available. And there are golf management courses available online from India. If you are interested, you can definitely let us know. You can reach me back on arunnair@mygolftours.com. If you have any questions, I'm willing to take. Smita, I hope I have done a justice to.
That was fabulous. Learned so much on golfing. Uh, one of the questions that strikes me is golfing is always associated with people like, the senior kind of generation before, of course, Tiger Woods, and with lots of money. How do you make it popular, or is it supposed to stay like that? Like an exclusive, high end?
No, it is. That's what I said. No, in the beginning, it was perceived as a sport which was for the rich, but with the government 55 million golfers travel in the kind of revenue. Incredible India always has been getting a revenue as, India is a place of temples and spirituality and yoga and all those things. But now it's gone beyond Taj Mahal. They are trying to promote India as a golfing destination. That's why more public courses are coming. Delhi has a public course, a lot of public course. Bombay has come up in Kharghar. You have a very nicely maintained public course, and anybody can go and play at a reasonable cost. You can go and play at reasonable price. Only thing is that the distances. Yes, one has to learn certain things. It's not that you can have a ground as close, because to have a good golf course you need 120 acres of land, and this land needs so much water and needs to be maintained, and special kind of the grasses done. These sands are to be done in a very specific. So it is not. It is available now. Even in Mumbai, it's available reasonably. You can go and enjoy, and the coaches are available. You can play, no problem. It's up to you. Basically, you have to first make up your mind. Yes, I want to do it. We will connect you, and we will also ensure that you have because there are junior camps happening in Bombay if it is a junior, and if it is a regular person, there are these golf courses. Of course, even learning cricket and academy, you have to pay, and then a reasonable cost. No problem.
Uh, I have a question from Ganesh Rani.
Mm-hmm.
How golf tourism will impact on India tourism?
Golf tourism, as I said, will enhance. As I said, first of all, an average person spending and a golfer spending globally is different. People come and want to play 5 rounds of golf, and they will do a sightseeing. It'll take a 2 weeks minimum. They will stay in India and they will spend more. Golfers do not like to stay in a twin share. They first of all prefer a single room. They first stay in a 5-star hotel, and their specifics are drawn that they want to pick up at this time. They want to go for a golf, and they are somebody who will spend money. Why we want to look at this is, for example, New Zealand initially was a country which was not very keen to spend on golf tourism, saying that we have so many tourism coming in. They appointed a PGA professional as one of their golf marketing person. He had a tough time convincing. Later on, when they started, tourism started coming in, then they realized the earning per golfers to the country revenue is much more than a backpacker and any other budget tourist. So definitely, if you are, say, for example, like I said, for an Augusta Master, somebody is going to spend for 6 nights, $7,000, $8,000 only to go and just spend 4 rounds of golf and watch a match. Definitely, he will be flying a first or a business class. So that's how the whole thing is. So the people coming from there also will spend. If somebody is spending $1,100, $1,200 to travel in India, you will get a revenue of $2,000. Somebody coming and spending.
Okay. Next question is from Nikhil Padgaonkar. How can we promote it as a sub-agent?
Yeah, we have. You can connect with me on my golf tours, and I can. First of all, we will educate you how. What are the needs of golf and how it is taken care, so that you understand, and then there is absolutely no problem. We have, as a member of International Association of Golf Tour Operators, we have a very special contract rate with global golf clubs and golf tourism, where sometimes like I said about St. Andrews, you don't get a slot. You have to book a slot at least a year in advance to play there. Okay, or the day before you go, you have to apply a lottery ballot. If whatever is left out you get to play. So these, some of the courses are so overbooked year around, so you got to have a correct contact to connect, and then we have that specific contact. We've been doing it for last 11 years, so we can do that.
So is golf tourism, you have a lot of repeat clients? I mean, I'm sure people, once a golfer is always a golfer. Does it
Yeah,
work like that?
they come. But what we do is we try and give them, once they come to the north, then the next time we try and suggest them itineraries in the south, because Bangalore, Mysore, Ooty, Kodai, Chikmagalur, they have beautiful scenic golf courses. Like I showed how you have Pelgam and Gulmarg has the highest green golf course in the world, like how Sikkim has. So these are all the things. So we offer them, and then yes, some of them come back, and normally that's
The next question is from Tejas.
Mhm.
I had never heard of golf tourism before, sir. Would love to know how famous it is in India and what are the prospects of golf tourism. Matlab, he wants to get into that sector.
Yeah. See, first is I'm very happy to say that India tourism has recognized golf as a niche tourism. Okay, so they have given a separate category for niche, and they are very aggressively helping to promote golf tourism. So Ministry of Tourism's initiative, and the government has taken a care. It means they are very keen to do that. That is first element of. What is the question? Can you read again?
Yeah. I had never heard of golf tourism before and would love to know how famous it is in India and what are the prospects for,
Yeah.
for jobs.
Yeah. See, I'll tell you, you have to, first of all, if you are looking for an opportunity, you first learn the thing, and then there are internships that are done already in. Secondly, if we have done a travel tourism, this works as an add-on. Okay, if you're already a travel hospitality diploma holder or pursuing that career, adding in the sports tourism, golf would be initially a better place rather than jumping directly full-fledged into it, because post COVID, uh, the new normal, a lot of travel will take place. As usual, it's not that people are going to be staying home, and golf will definitely pick up. But you have to first then learn about because when you're talking to a customer, if a golfer is coming to and talking to you, he has more knowledge about what courses he wants to play. So you should have that kind of knowledge and terminology that you use with him. Then it will be much easier for you. It's not a big deal, but it's very the growth in India is very, very high, and it's because it's economy driven, and your country is growing. A lot of people are taking up golf. The average membership today in Bombay Presidency Golf Club is about 50 lakhs of rupees, but still
Wow.
people are waiting to take a membership. And if you don't have a membership, you can pay and play 1100 rupees to Khargar Golf Club and go and play. It is also a beautiful golf course. So that is, you want to be in the elite with the people to network and stuff, you take a membership. If you want to just enjoy golf with some friends, you go and play a public course.
So no wonder you hear a lot of deals are cracked on the golf course.
Yes.
Okay. The next question is from Nirmiti Joshi.
Mhm.
Golf tourism can be introduced to corporates? A question. As we are into MICE tourism.
Yes, definitely. A lot of that's I showed you the I showed you two of the slides about the golf corporate golf clinic where we have celebrities like Leander Pace come and giving a pep talk and stuff. Or also we can take the all of them into Thailand or Dubai and do a kind of event for them. If they are golfers, we can do a tournament. If they are non-golfers, we can do some kind of an event where they will all enjoy and have some kind of a thing, and that's the way it can be done. So absolutely no problem. It is a specific. It's a upper end of my mice where when people are all fed up with your cruise and your same thing, you can give them something different.
So the next question is from Prakash Jayaraman. What is the average number of days a golfer usually spends in India?
In India, 2 weeks is the average.
Oh,
2 weeks, because they have, if they're coming all the way and coming and spending about 4 rounds, 5 rounds of golf. Playing golf takes 4 hours plus the time you leave the hotel, go to the golf course, you play, finish, come to your locker, you have a shower, you change. By the time 6 hours are already gone, you're tired. And then later on, then on that day they either take a spa or go to a bar and then enjoy and relax. The next day is a city tour and sightseeing and stuff. So that's it's about 2 weeks is the average, value addition, because he's bringing his bag, he's paying for so much for it.
What is the average cost of a golf package?
It varies, but about, so for a 2 weeks golf package is about $2,700. You can have a nice golf package. You can do
Which is the best destination for golf tourism? From Saurabh Agarwal.
that. See, it's a spread. It's a budget. Some people would like to go and play at the St. Andrews. It's like a mecca, being there, taking photographs. But it basically, what kind of golfer are you? What kind means how good you play. Some of the championship courses, you can go there, but if you play there, you will get frustrated because you can't play. Your level of game is not to level of champion. So there are some courses which are beautifully located and for tourists. You go, enjoy the game, and fun and things like that. You are not going to, if you are in golf, there are something called a handicap. What kind of handicap you are? You are in a 0 to 10 handicap, but you will go and enjoy in any of the golf course. If you are going about 15 and above or 18 and above, then you will find it difficult in a championship course. Some of the links course that are in UK, the kind of wind that blows at 7 degrees chill, you won't even be able to play. You will get frustrated. So it is you where you want to go and enjoy the golf. You're spending so much money, and it should be in the right according to what your game is. You should be going out, and you let us know your handicap and stuff, or your customer's handicap or your friend's handicap. We will recommend, and also we will enjoy and then make them have them fun.
The next question is from Mihir Joshi. He's asking, what are the trends in golf tourism in the new normal? How has it changed?
See, basically the touch point was the caddies who would carry your bag. That was one area that people had a concern. So currently the trend is to have your own trolley that push trolley. There are now battery operated trolleys have come in. There are even trolleys with a remote that you hang on in your pocket and it follows you. and things like
Wow.
that. So you don't even have to push the trolley and things like that. So those are the things which people would initially take up because they don't want another human touching their bag multiple times and picking their ball and cleaning their ball and putting it in the kind of thing. And secondly, in a new norm would be, if some people who do not are not used to trolley and they are also even talking about. See, normally there are 14 clubs in a golf bag. They say that we will do a four club tournament. They will take a putter, they will take one driver, one pitching wedge, and one 5 iron, and then they will run the entire. That's it's a kind of thing people are kind of inventing to avoid till you have that vaccine and everything protection is done. So these are the way people are innovating.
Okay, so this means it's a shorter tournament, something
No,
like a
no, 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 no,
T20.
no, 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 no. Short one. They will play. Golfers will not play T20. They will play the full round. Unless, see, the thing is, it's like a husband was very very upset. He did not eat his dinner and things like that. The wife was worried. What happened? Why did I do wrong and things like that. And finally he said, "Oh, I missed the 1 foot putt, while putting he just so he missed it." So he was, the whole thing is, when you are with a golfer, you will not get to know whether what's happening around in the world. He will be worried about their own shots and what they missed. And there are people who also kind of do a little bit of betting about the whole thing that
Ah,
happens in every sport. But these are all like buying a beer and stuff like that if you lose and stuff. So this kind of fun that people have. Yeah.
okay. Uh, so can you share golf itineraries so we can promote unique tourism? I think they're on your website, no?
Yeah, yeah, they are on my website, and you can always call me. I'll guide you whatever you want to talk.
Okay.
Those things.
The next question is from Anita Gandhi. What is the best time or season for golf?
See, India is 365 days. Anywhere you can play, and golfers play even at 40 degrees heat. That's they are in Delhi. You go, you people play. In Bombay, people play in the afternoon. It's a 2 o'clock tee off. People play. So only thing is that when it is during the monsoon, when there is a lightning strike, then they don't play because they have the irons and shafts which are
Hmm.
have very this thing. So normally thing, and if the course is very highly flooded with the rain, they cannot play. They will come back and then keep cursing the rain and then again wait for the rain to go, because these courses are also have a very beautiful drainage system, modern drainage system. After a few minutes of the rain, the course gets nicely drained and people can play, unless it's a heavy downpour and then it gets into a thing. That otherwise these courses are also very well managed and well irrigated. And normally it's golfers, every golfer has their own way of playing. So some play in the morning, some play in the afternoon. So there is no time unless there is a weather indication that they cannot play, or their wife tells them, "Where are you going?" They say, "No, I'm not going to play golf," but they will go to play golf.
But most of these golf courses are in Mumbai, or rather in India. Are they artificial or what are they? Are
No,
mixed?
no, they are all real. They are all real.
They're real?
Oh, yeah, yeah. You see, the all the golf courses have their own water harvesting and then recycling of your drainage water and stuff like that, and then they water them. They have a permission from, because they cannot, the amount of water that is needed to maintain the grass is very very high quantity. So
Mm.
they all recycle the water and they use them. So everybody has a solar plant, everybody has a recycling plant, and these things are done in a very eco-friendly manner so that there is no wastage and damage
Tejas wants to know which is your favorite golf course.
to that. And in Mumbai, I'm a member in the Bombay Presidency Club, and I enjoy playing with my friends. And I go and play I like personally the Thracian Cliff in Black Sea, which is my very favorite course. I love that.
Which is a tough golf course to play on?
I told you it's like how good player you are. I mean, like some of the professional golf courses which are made for professional tournaments, they are very tough because it's for the kind of people who play very good golf. And if you are a good player, then there is no, you will have a course to challenge on. Otherwise, we normally recommend people tourist friendly courses so that they go and have a good value for money and also enjoy a good round of golf.
So when you do these golf, budgets or golf itinerary, sorry,
Mm.
you normally have family traveling or what? What does
No,
the
no, no, normally there are individual golfers who travel, or the husband and wife both are golfers, they travel.
okay?
And if the wife is a non-golfer or sometimes the husband is a non-golfer, is also there, then we have a separate program for them that they can go. We had a couple of last one of the tour, the husbands gave the wives. We had a separate private yacht party for them in the evening. The wife never even knew what was coming. The evening they said, "Come, come, let's go." They took hired a private yacht in Pattaya and took them around dance, food and music done. So these things are all done. Golfers, they think about it in the afternoon and the evening. They said, "Hey, kya karo?" And then kitna 120,000 bahts. Okay, okay, itna ho gaya. Ye le mera le lo, khatam karo. But this is where they spend money, and you have to have the resources. You should have the resources to organize things like a trip. And
Mm, okay. The next question is how much has COVID impacted golf tourism in India and worldwide? And uh, there are two parts, okay? So we'll take this first.
COVID has affected worldwide golf because, but now suddenly Europe is open for its own uh, nationals. Like Slovenia first came out of golf, of COVID, and then they have opened first. But now I think French and Italy, and they are only opening it for their own countrymen. It's not, they are not opening it for
Mm,
outsiders. Sri Lanka is opened up from effective 1st of August. And in India, only now Delhi, Chandigarh, some golf courses have opened. Bombay still, we have not got any kind of directive from the government. So it is affected, impacted. It has created a lot of impact on the lives of caddies who were, contract laborers carrying of bags and things like that. So there are a lot of NGOs we are into that they take care of giving them rations and cash and taking care of them. And the golf courses are also spending on them in taking care of them. These are the impacts which is there. And soon it should, once it opens with restrictions like what I spoke about, like those things will start. So impact will be there, but more or less it will, there will be solutions found because the rich know how to get away in things, and then they will find ways in things. It's a cost, obviously. It's a cost people will
will we see a glimpse of golf tourism by the end of the year, domestic and international,
pay.
with
Yes,
few
of
countries opening up?
yeah, because I think we already have inquiries from Spain, people who want to come and play in November in India.
Oh,
Okay, so we have had inquiries, and people traveling from India outside is, first of all, it depends on those countries which are accepting Indians to come with what kind of conditions and restrictions. That is not yet available right now. Once they open up it bilaterally that yes, you need a COVID certificate and come and play, people will start traveling. It's absolutely
mhm. Mm, let me see if I have any more questions. How do you see golf tourism evolving?
As I said, the we have been the last 3 years when we did the junior development program. We saw the increase in number of children coming up and playing. The number of golf courses. If you go and see in Ahmedabad in Gujarat, okay, Gujarat now you have a beautiful golf course called the Kalahar Blues and Greens. This is a beautiful, amazing. You will never know the whether you are which kind of world class golf quality. Okay, so the kind of juniors that are highest number of junior golfers are coming from Gujarat. There is a gentleman called Varun Parekh who's doing a turned professional from there, and he was also winning in the Faldo series. He was doing very good in Vietnam. So there are a lot of junior golfers coming up, and the National Golf Academy of India. One more I wanted to advise. Right thing you said. If anybody wants to do golf, become a golf referee or a golf coach, stuff like that. In Chandigarh, you have the National Golf Academy. They can register, they can learn, and then go and pass the exam. There are levels. You become a coach category, or you have a referee category. You can go and become a referee. These are also good career opportunities that they can do that. And there is also golf superintendent course which takes care of their how to maintain the golf course, what kind of grass, what kind of irrigation, what kind of machineries are needed. These are also taught in India. There are two prime associations doing it. One is the Indian Golf Tourism Association, which is promoting. There is then a one Golf Industry Association, which is more into all those kind of management. The golf course owners are there mainly the membership.
So, Arun, with that, oh, okay, we just got one more question. Uh, okay. Could not understand why COVID has affected golf as there is lot of distance maintained between players. Saurabh is
Yeah, but
asking.
yeah, which is true, which is the question. We are also asking because as a golfer, we have associations in India called the Golf Addicts Association. Okay, there's a Western India Golf Addicts Association. There is a Southern India Golf Addicts Association. We are golf addicts, and we travel around in a group. And these associations also the same question, but well, one has to understand that jaan hai to jahan hai. You have to be very careful. You cannot take anything for granted. So we have to listen to what the health ministry directives are there and stuff. Just not for just going and jumping around and to show. We should not put anybody else into risk also at the same time, because there are people. If you're going to go to the golf course, you mean to say there is somebody who's going to be there to monitoring you, taking care. A lot of things are there. So it is better listen to the advisories, take precaution. It is a matter of time. I am very happy that the younger generation is seeing such a turmoil at a good age, that they know that how to come. They can, we have never seen such things in our life. We have seen this SARS and mad cow, or the volcanic ash, and these are the limited problems. So something of this global nature we've not seen, and and confidence is there that this thing will just go away with so much of technology and medicine around. And it's a matter of time. October, November, you will be having a good time. The next 2021, just look forward to. You got to be safe. You got to be healthy. Do your yoga, do your pranayam, keep yourself calm. And if anything that enhances you spiritually, do it. If reading does it, enjoy reading. And that's about it. Take care of yourself.
Okay, one more question, Arun.
Yeah.
Can you throw some light on how one can start golf? I think this lady
Yeah,
has come late.
yeah. No, see, there are golf academies in a public course where you can go and play and learn. In Mumbai, you have a Kharghar. You can go and play. There are golf in Andheri, Lokhandwala. One of our friend has an academy. Connect with me. I will connect them to you. In Lokhandwala area, there is a small driving range they have started, and that's where you can go and first learn your game and understand how it works. And then slowly we will guide you how to go about without initially spending on big membership to play. There are various credit card companies. If you have a credit card, they offer free golf. There are so many other stuff that you have, or what are the weekdays that you can play and pay and play in any of these clubs. We can organize it for you, and we have certain contracts with certain clubs. We can arrange.
Okay, so I think with that, that was our last question. Thanks a lot for a very informative session. And it is indeed, golf tourism has a great potential. So we
Oh
can
yes.
look at diversifying and, learning some so that we can get into golf tourism soon. Okay,
I
so
welcome anybody and everybody, and this is something which is a lifestyle experience sport. Get into it. You're going to make good money in future. That I can say.
yeah, because customer experiences are something them to come back to you for more and more.
Yes,
So
definitely.
golf tourism is indeed one such.
Yeah.
So thanks again,
Thank you.
everyone,
Thank you.
and look forward to seeing you all for our next session, which is role of technology in the new normal on Saturday at 3 p.m. And we have our guest, Mr. Rajdev Bhattacharya. So until then, thank you and stay safe. Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.